Good evening, everybody. It is April 28th, 2022. I'm phoning in the introduction tonight because, well, I'm not at my computer. I'm actually on an old phone, and I needed to have an introduction because
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's time for Ken Stout Live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Monday, July 17th, 2023. I'm your host with the technical issues tonight, Ken Stout, with Ken Stout Live and Zoom Homies, or the Zoom Homies with Technical Issue Ken Stout Live. I am Ken Stout, and I am having technical issues. And if Alex gets in here and says one word, he's gone for the week. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Greg. Hello, William. Hello, Tim. Hello, Chris. Hello, Sam. Hopefully, you guys will be heard over YouTube. I'm not going to lose sleep. If it's not, I'll figure it out. So go ahead and say something.
Hello, YouTube world.
Good evening from Las Vegas.
Howdy from Maryland.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
All right, Tim is saying what I requested before I turned all our mics on. It's not in history.
It was funny though when he looked at the camera and just went. Poof. I wished I had a screenshot of it. I wished I had a screenshot of the look on his face. It was just so funny. I laughed so hard in the shop. Everybody was like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Somebody made a mistake."
I got notification and it said something to the effect of
It
Ken
was
Stout Live
Stout.
Consulting Session 2, #2A, but it's
Yeah.
private. So I'm gonna send him an email and see if I
He
can get the
deleted
link
it.
to it. He either deleted or he
deleted
made it
after.
private. One of the two.
Yes, 1, 2. Okay, it's working
We
now.
can hear you, Chris. But welcome. I mean, you having audio issues would fall right in line to what I've been having for the last 35
No, actually,
so
I figured
minutes.
I'd make you. Actually, I'll make you wait a minute. Why? Like you made me wait.
Well, sorry about that. As you all know, if I'm the host and the room is blocked and I don't make co-host and I don't see it and I don't hear the bell, then you might sit there for a minute. It's not intentional, believe me. Not with you guys. Maybe intentional with certain people, not mentioning anyone's names. We got storm warnings or watches or something all the way through midnight tonight. It's still coming down pretty good outside.
Wow.
Which we need the rain. Don't misunderstand me. We need the rain. We don't need the wind and the thunder and the lightning and the destruction it possibly could bring.
Oh, I found out if I could send this. I think I know what lightning hit the other night.
What was it?
Hold on a minute. I'll see what I can do.
Did it make the local news or the paper or the internet or anything of that nature?
No, it's just gonna make Ken Stout Live. That's all.
Yes,
Did it come in your house?
It hit the pole, I think.
Well, I have been reached out to become a news reporting agency. I just said no. I hope Doug is watching or listening or will watch it in the morning and will at least extend me a link so I can at least watch it because I'd like to see it. And
He wasn't doing anything.
no, he forgot to turn the camera off. I'm sure I've done it before. I know if do what, Chris?
That's funny, Doug, for getting turn the camera off.
Yeah,
I
I sent him
know
a
if
text.
the trailers will always be in your history. If you watch a trailer all the way through, that will be in history. I did not know about unlisted and or private, but that kind of verifies that it's not there, and it shouldn't be.
I sent him a text message and was watching it, and you could see him pick up the phone and he looked at the camera and went, poof. I just wished I had a screenshot of the expression on his face.
Yeah,
It was so funny.
I've got a couple good screenshots of a couple of expressions on his face that I'm going to implement into some things one of these days. So, Jeff, you mentioned the opening ceremony with first through third. What do you think of that version versus the other version?
I like this one.
Okay. Greg, I know you liked it because you were first.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Look at Tim. Tim, don't move. Whatever you do, don't move. Oh, you moved. Doggone it.
Oh,
When you turn your face, you're being masked out by the moon. Looks kind of creepy.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's even worse. Look, turn all the way to your right. No, not your body, just your head. Turn back. Now, turn your head back to the right. Keep going. Anybody have the theme from The Exorcist handy? It would apply here really good.
Did you hear that ring just a second ago, Ken?
Do what?
Did you hear that ring over my mic just a second ago?
No, I did not.
Oh, I'm going to say it just happened right then, and it was the announcement of Ken Stout Live over my phone. It was that much later than the...
I'm telling you, there's all kind of issues going on with YouTube right now, and this cannot be blamed on my system. This is a YouTube thing, not a...
Somebody in YouTube is monitoring your show to see if they should send it out or not.
Yeah, I'm sure with the whopping 284 subscribers, I'm making an impact on YouTube. What happened to RMB in second saying, "Oh, bloody hell," and I responded to him. Was that yesterday or today, Roy? I think that was yesterday, not today. Now, I can't go back and look at the very beginning because I had to do a restart of the system, and I'm limited on what I can see. But I'm pretty sure what you're referring to was yesterday, because if it wasn't yesterday, then that would put Robert at second, not Tony, and then Tony at third, not William. But who knows? And I know I can't go back even on the studio. Now, you know what? I want to make sure that I'm live. I do have the live button on, so that's good. It shows that it is live. And then I could jump in there and say see if it was yesterday. Yesterday about 2. Okay, so yeah, Roy, yesterday at 2:30 in the afternoon would have been last night's show, not tonight's show. I don't schedule these 24 hours in advance. I schedule them anywhere from, 6 hours in advance, not much past that, unless I'm going to be gone. If I'm going to be gone, and I know I'm going to be gone, I'll schedule them way earlier and then try to get back by 9 o'clock. But no, I think you are referring to yesterday's show, and I'm going to verify that real quick.
I know. I turned in my back a long time ago.
I hear someone's TV in the background. Let me take a
Hey,
wild
Ken,
guess.
I got that ready. I got that ready with that light pole. I think it got hit. Or it's the telephone pole now.
All right, hang on. You want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I got chat in the way.
I got to turn that ceiling fan off. I've been out in the heat all day. I'm about to freeze.
Go ahead, Chris. You may share your screen. You actually have you have a video. Oh, that's just the aftermath of it, right?
You see where that split right there?
Yeah.
You think lightning could have done that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
I don't know. I'm up here clicking on the make larger button, not even remembering that he's sharing his screen.
The internet
such a Brian Lightfoot sometimes.
The internet went out, then it come back in. It didn't do no damage. Just that they really need the light company replace that pole, and this pole used to be the light pole and a telephone pole. And they hadn't came and moved the wire. The telephone company hadn't came and moved the wire. They should move them to this pole.
That's odd.
Yeah, they were supposed. They said they couldn't do it. The light company said they couldn't do it. That AT&T had to do it, which is true.
They phone lines or AT&T lines?
They can't move. They can't move the phone line over. The
right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Only the power company can move power lines. Only cable can move cable lines.
Correct. And it'd be like asking AT&T to move the electrical lines. They're going to say, no, I can't do that. Sorry about that. Now I'm going back to look.
To do that, and probably when the pole rots down, that's probably when they'll come do it.
Or a drunk driver hits it.
Well, it's on a private road, so it's not right on the main road. So.
Well, I can't go back to the beginning of yesterday's when I scheduled it. It's only going back to the very first comment made once I went live. So thanks, YouTube. Appreciate that. Wonder if it'd be in the transcripts. I doubt it's in the transcripts because the transcript should be of me and anyone else talking. So, crazy. So Greg was first tonight. Yes, Greg was actually first tonight. According to what I saw before I had to restart everything, it was Greg, and then it was Tony, and then it was William. And that was in the studio, so that was good. And I know that because when I set up that new opening, I actually had that on one monitor and the opening on the other, and was making sure that everything lined up. And I am going to work with that a little bit. There's things I like about it, there's things I don't like about it, but I want to improve it, so I am going to work on doing that. Chris, are you talking to us, or are you talking to Max?
That was the sheriff talking to somebody.
Oh, you got the sheriff there? What's going on?
Scanner.
Huh?
The scanner.
Oh, the scanner. I thought you said sheriff. And I'll be glad
No,
when
it
I
was
can
the,
hear.
it was the sheriff on the scanner.
Everybody jump on Mrs. K's gaslighting Ken. Let's get this over with. Make me go crazy so I can get in my state of confusion and be happy.
You still got hitting cameras going?
I'll run them tonight. I didn't last night. But the thing about running them tonight, can't count on the power. I know when I checked earlier today, you were still live, Robert was still live, and Sam was still live. I didn't start him last night. That was on me. I forgot what I wanted to go look at now. Oh, it's going to be a long night.
I'm still not.
Yeah,
used
One
to
Fish
mine.
shows live. Williams, you think someone's muted? Tim?
I'm still not used to my new security camera. That thing's got AI tracking on it.
And a tilt camera?
Yeah. I had two of them once before, but they were garbage. I had to put the old one back up. This one's a TP link, so maybe this will last.
I'm going to be careful with AI.
Well, it's artificial tracking is what it's called.
All right, just checking the avatar out. I know that that's correct. A while ago, that didn't work. It showed something like, I think your host Ken or something like that, which is weird because I normally don't have to log in, but to get on Zoom tonight, I had to log in. And I don't know what's up with that, unless because I logged in on the laptop last night. That might have something to do with it. I don't know. And I am answering a text from you know who.
That's possible. It transferred what I thought your computer was you're using.
I don't know. I bounce back and forth between these things all the time. And I think tonight after I leave, I'm going to experiment trying to get on Zoom on the phone just to see what's going on. And go from there. All right. I mean, I don't know. She knows I start the stream every night at 9 o'clock. Because she sends me a text about this time every night and go, "Are you streaming?" So, I just don't know.
You should send her a text and say, "Are you working?"
Yeah. Well, I dropped her off at the front door unless she's sneaking out the back door, and you can have all the funny puns you want with that as you want. I'm pretty sure she is. I'm looking for her to be canceled tomorrow or Thursday. Or no, wait a minute. Today's Monday. I'm looking for her to be canceled. Yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday, because they schedule it 4 days, and they normally don't do that. They only schedule 3, and then they allow them to pick up extra days. They rarely, never schedule 4 days. So, I wouldn't have been shocked tonight if I got about halfway back and she said, "Come and get me. I'm not on the schedule." but she didn't, so that's good. Oh, man. Doug's stream was quite helpful today. Someone remind me after we end the stream about Doug's stream. I have information to pass on about that I would like to keep just private at this time. I will make it public when it's necessary, but not tonight, not right now. Greg, you getting any rain yet?
We had some the other day.
Oh, I think you're about to get some more. The storm that we had move through this afternoon, or this, well, it was actually late evening, it shows tracking straight right through your area. Big storm, too.
There's a 7% chance tomorrow night at 5 p.m.
What happened to the good old 10, 20, 30%? Now we're down to single digits of predicting this. Oh, geez. Jeff, what's your temperature like now? About 110, 111?
Mine hold on. It was like 106, I think. Let me check again.
Still warm.
I topped off at 113. It's at 107 now.
Oh,
man.
Dropped to 105.
We're at 79 degrees right now.
105 is still really warm.
Yep.
John Southern Exposure says hello in the chat room. Hello, John.
Matter of fact, that reminds me, I'm going to send a text message to the night supervisor, go back there to the second shop and turn that cooler on before they leave work tonight. I don't want to be miserable again.
It's 80 here. It feels like 86.
You guys don't run 24 hours, Tim?
We do, but the second shop, that machinery back there, I'm the only one that runs it. I'm in charge of that department. And now I'm taking over my secretary's job, too, because she put her 2 weeks' notice today. The owner called me in the office, and I walked in there, and the owner was in there, the director of operations was in there, and she was in there, and they're like, hey, are you willing to step up and take over part of her duties? I said, sure. And they gave me a hell of a raise, too, and I haven't even done it yet.
Nice.
It's like, cool.
Yep.
Good way to end the day after I was pissed off and sweating all day long.
So, you know me, I always ask the intriguing, important questions that the world wants to know. Did they make you sign I have to wear a dress clause?
Nah.
Just wondered. Gonna be a secretary.
I'm just adding to my workload. I won't, I'm good at multitasking. I probably won't be able to listen to YouTube as much as I used to because I'm gonna be doing computer work.
In the contract, you should have said every day between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock your time. You have to have a break. Paid. Send me the contract. I'll rewrite it for you.
I didn't sign anything.
It's good to see John. I haven't checked to see what his subscribers are up to now.
I'm actually kind of happy about it because I was always complaining about her anyway. I was wanting to get somebody else in there to do the work.
Is it a temporary thing or a permanent thing, you think?
Oh, this is permanent.
Nice.
Now, if we get super busy, we don't know. We've already discussed that.
Right, because your main function at your company is to work on the floor, right, and run the warehouse.
Yeah, I'm running machines, but I do multiple functions. I'm just adding another one to it.
Well, at least you got a pay raise, right?
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I would be too. I always hated it when they said, "Hey, we're going to need you to do this for a little while," and there's no incentive to do it, as in pay raise or a little extra money or whatever.
I already know how the E2 system and our computer systems and all that stuff already works because I used to be the nighttime supervisor at one time. So it's no big deal to me. I'll pick it right back up.
Yeah. Hello, Jose. Photo Mix Media joins us. Hello, Jose, again. Thank you for whoever let him in. The soundbar must be not working. There he is. Your box was lit like you were talking, but there was nothing to be heard. Is your audio working?
Copy.
There we go.
Can I get a copy? Audio check.
You can get an audio check copy. Over, under. Roger?
10-4.
Movie Airplane. That's one of the funniest scenes in there, I thought. So Jose's going to share something with us later after the stream ends. He's got some time reserved for that. Well, what I've got to say will take about 30 seconds. Doug's stream today was really helpful. Very, very helpful. The one thing I found really interesting, I can say this, when you're a super mod, you don't have any extra powers that I'm aware of. Not picking on Jeff, but Jeff was able to block someone as a moderator that I couldn't block as a super mod. And as soon as he took that status away, I could block people. And we demonstrated that with Sheldon Bell or Ball. I can't remember. Sheldon somebody. Cooper maybe. I don't know. And I was able to block him and unblock him. Jeff caught it. Very, very productive today.
And I wasn't part of this experiment?
Were you on Doug's today?
No.
Then
Sorry.
no, you weren't part of the experiment. Would you like us to make you part of the experiment? Because I discovered something else today as well. You can go back in. You can go back in time.
No, thank you.
Huh?
No, thank you. I don't want to be the one having the experiment on.
Yeah, because if you're like me, it'd be your luck that it would work, but then it wouldn't be reversible, and you'd be just like stuck forever. That was my concern when he said, "Yeah, go ahead, Chris."
Can I go back to 1980?
If you'd like to, I mean, what's so special about 1980?
I just saying, can I go back to 1980? That was when I started school.
I'd been out of school 3 years. Of course, Jeff and Greg had been out for 20 years already.
I wouldn't mind
No,
going
not
back
quite
to the
20.
80s.
I know you guys aren't that old.
Wow.
Didn't have to pay rent or work or anything.
Oh, yes.
Let me stay the same age and go back to 1980.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the Navy for 3 years.
Yeah. I would not want to go back to 1980 at this age. Maybe the knowledge I've got, and I can use that term loosely, I might want to go back. But to go back at this age with the aches and the pains and the creaks and no.
What I'd like to do, I'd like to go back to when I started work and change just one or two things the first 3 or 4 years, and then jump back to now and hopefully reap the benefits.
Yeah,
the first place.
Yep. Now that would be cool.
But that shit ain't gonna move. Excuse me, that stuff ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh, let me stop the stream, make it private, go back and edit it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're fine.
Go back and buy Apple and Microsoft stock.
Yeah, I do agree with that, William. I think if I could go back, I would definitely buy stock in some things.
Well, no, what I didn't do when I started work, we had two types of savings plans. We had a short-term plan that paid out every 3 years. You put some money into it, and I used that to buy my first new car. But then we also had a 401k in effect, and I didn't put a bunch of money into that. And if I could do that again, I would dump the maximum they would match into the 401k way back then and do without something else.
I'm already maxed out on mine to what they would match.
Yep. I did that most of the time I worked, but there's about 3 years at one job and 2 years at another when I didn't feel like I had enough money left over to do that. And I would find some way to do it those 5 years, and I would have a nice chunk of change more.
Oh, heck yeah.
I just thought of something. Next week will be 19 years I've been at my company. Oh, crap. That's a long time.
Yep.
These days, that's a long time to stay at one company. A lot of people change jobs much more often than that for a variety of reasons. But it's like way back when I started work, I started at this place, and the notion was didn't get paid quite as much at a government contractor as you would out in industry, but you had job security. Basically, you expected to stay there as long as you worked. And that changed about 17 or 18 years in. So we had the slightly lower pay and the lack of job security. But you know, life happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't.
I think William hit the nail right on the head that if he could go back, 1980 is a good year. Some of the things that were just getting started and invest a little bit of money. Can you imagine where it would be today? Especially with, like, I don't know, Apple.
Or as Forrest Gump says,
I don't have a lot of money in Apple, but my financial advisor back in 2009 advised me to start buying a little bit of Apple stock every month. Not much, just. And since then, between 2009 and now, my Apple stock has averaged 39% growth a year.
That's pretty good.
And that was not foreseeable. Yeah. But he thought it was a reasonable investment and has been. I just wish I'd actually put a significant chunk of change into it instead of the little dab I did. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to have it.
Go ahead.
No, I'm happy to have done what I did, but I wish I'd done more in hindsight.
Do you contribute monthly to that, or is that just a one-time investment?
Well, no. Back then, he advised me to buy like $100 to $200 worth of stock a month and I did that over 3 or 4 years back then.
Okay. So, Chris, you were going to say something about Forrest Gump?
Oh, I see. As Forrest Gump would say, invest in some type of fruit company.
Yeah, remember that from the movie. Forrest Gump was on here the other night again.
Well, it runs all the time.
Yep, it's running someplace a lot.
Good money in fruit.
I got it on DVDs.
Speaking of fruit, Chris, what can you tell us about the Georgia peach production this year?
I don't know. The last I heard, not good.
Here comes
trouble. Somebody. This is clearly trouble. And it's verified.
Oh.
I'm still laughing about this morning.
Oh, Doug. Hey, Doug.
Hi.
Doug, do you know you're live?
I wish I had a screenshot of the expression on your face when you looked at the camera and killed it.
Yeah, well, that was because who sent me? Oh, Tim. Tim sent me a text saying that I was live. I had no idea. I do know how it happened. You might have seen occasionally there was a Ken Stout support session showing up in my scheduled live streams from May. In fact, I think the name of that video had a May date on it. And that thing has been, it would be there and then it'd be gone and it'd be there and it'd be gone. And recently it's been back again. So what happened when I killed the live stream this morning, I did that by ending it in the YouTube studio. And that's where you get that instantaneous end of the show. And then it apparently automatically started just running the other stream that was in the scheduled items, and it didn't start it right away. So I never clicked anything to start it. It just, because I didn't end the stream in XSplit. And I've seen that before. What happens if there's no other scheduled show, XSplit will continue recording locally if I don't end the stream in XSplit. So if I end the stream in YouTube Studio, XSplit continues recording, and sometimes it's recorded me for another hour until I notice that it's still running.
Yeah, I was watching you. So I'm gonna send him a text message. I was watching you on YouTube. I could see you pick up the phone and you looked at the camera and went, poof.
Is it possible that you had somehow set up a redirect and it just picked that up as a redirect?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I went, in fact, that scheduled items was showing up on the redirect tab, but I had gone in to look at shows before I started the stream this morning. I went to see if either you or Carrie had a stream, and I did see that Carrie had.
Oh.
Well, it's good to see you're all right. I thought maybe you might have fell down, but okay, we know you're fine now. And you're at the cabin, aren't you?
I'm at the cabin. I got here about 15 minutes before you started your show, but then I got onto a support call with the client who owns the cabin.
Oh, okay.
And I was wanting to try this laptop on Zoom because this is a Windows 10 laptop that has 2 gigabytes of RAM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you'd like to see me prove that, I'll share the screen and show it to you.
Go right ahead.
Seems like it's running fine.
Yeah, it does. Let's see. I'll bring up the. Let's do it over here. I'm bringing up that window before I share the screen.
So is there going to be a show tomorrow from you or not because you're at the cabin?
No, not because there won't be a show tomorrow because I'm at the cabin.
Okay.
2 gigs of Windows 10.
Say again?
So this got 2 gigs with Windows 10.
Yeah. Now there's some ways, there's some tricks that I do to accomplish that. So I'll give you some of the tricks. I used to actually do it without these tricks, but it runs a whole lot better after doing these tricks.
Yeah, there's stuff you could do.
Let's see.
Seems to be working all right.
Yeah. So here I'm sharing the screen. You should be seeing my about screen showing.
Let me jump over and share that with YouTube as well. You're fine. I've got to make one change here.
Wow.
Okay, we were good. YouTube is seeing it. Oh, shoot. Doug, can I share your screen with YouTube? Oh, wait, I'm the host. Okay, continue. I'll shut up.
Yeah, so here you see the 2 gigabytes of RAM. It's Windows 10 Home 21H2. And I used to use it without the fixes, without the tricks that I'm about to describe. I have disabled Windows Defender. I've disabled Windows updates. I think I've disabled a couple other things to reduce the workload that the computers do in the background. And I added this time freeze. I'm highlighting it. Are you seeing that highlighted toolbar on the bottom?
No, we only see your settings. It says about your PC is monitored and protected.
All right, well, I'm going to stop that sharing and do another share. This share will actually share the monitor instead of that tab.
You froze for just a second.
I did?
Yeah.
All right, let's see which one of these is.
How's the temperatures up there?
74 degrees.
Oh, I can't wait to go up there this weekend.
Let's see, I guess, oh, that should be this one. This should show you my full screen, right?
It says Doug, there we go, full screen. Yeah.
I think you can breathe better up there.
Okay, yeah. Now down here, I'm floating the mouse over this little icon in the notification area. It says ToolWiz Time Freeze 2017. So if anything were to go afoul due to these things I turned off, this time freeze will revert everything about the computer back to the state it was at when I last started the computer. So any configuration changes will not stick. And that time freeze program was something that Zavine Manor brought to my attention back when I was trying to configure those HP all-in-one computers for use by the residents of those buildings that are subsidized by HUD. Now, then the other thing is the main purpose of this laptop up here is to connect remotely to clients' computers. If I want to do any web browsing, or if I want to interact with my email, I connect remotely to Big Beast Build. I'm not opening browsers at all on this computer because they're just too sluggish. They used to be okay, but now they're just too sluggish. So I don't even bother with browsers. I'll connect remote to Big Beast Build, and now I can, or Baby Beast. Actually, Baby Beast is my preferred remote connection. And since I can turn that computer on remotely by turning on the power strip, that means I don't even have to leave that computer on. So that's the current strategy.
Nice.
Seems as it's working pretty well for you.
Yeah, this is the first time trying Zoom on this laptop, and it seems to be working fine.
Yeah, I tested my laptop last night. Go ahead, Jeff.
So that's the power strip that works with Alexa?
Right. And I operate that from the phone, from my cell phone here. I can turn on the plugs, the Alexa app on my phone. So, good. I like this. Well, now let's just stare at each other.
So nice to take a little midweek break and get where it's cooler.
Yeah, yeah.
It was horrible down here today.
I apologize. I had to run in and see what the weather was reporting. They just found it. They just reported a tornado down south, about 30 miles from me. I just wanted to see what was going on. And when I leave, nobody talks. Even if I say, please, someone carry on a conversation. Even Alex, if Alex is here, and nobody says anything. So,
okay, fine.
We're just overwhelmed by your personality.
Oh, so Jose, you're saying when I'm getting ready to leave, I need to send you a quick message, have you join Zoom so there can be conversation.
Yeah. Doug, that piece of software reminds me of another software called Deep Freeze.
All right. Probably a similar effect.
I've seen it around education institutions, workplaces, companies like that.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Doug.
I'm surprised with that the lighting on this is pretty good. I'm actually sitting in a pretty dark place. You know that torture technique of putting bamboo shoots under fingernails?
That's torture? I thought that was acupuncture.
Yeah. I did that to myself today up here. You can see that little black line on my fingernail.
Oh, man.
It's a wood sliver I jammed under my fingernail.
That hurts.
Ouch. Yeah. Fortunately, the pain.
Is that to alleviate your migraines?
Yeah, well, an interesting idea, but no. I was just reaching down to pick up something off the deck, and
this was an accidental torture.
Accidental.
Okay.
Yeah, just about half an hour ago.
Yeah, those are always not fun. No, I asked about the headaches because a friend of mine, he used to get headaches, and he would actually take, which just probably won't come through, he would take his left hand and hold it up, and he'd take his right forefinger and thumb, and he'd get as far back in the webbing as he could on his hand, and he would just He'd squeeze until the fingers would turn blue, it seemed like at times, and that would alleviate his headache, or so he said. I have no idea. I've never tried it. I don't get headaches that often.
Been there, tried that, didn't work.
Oh, have you? Yeah.
And acupuncture and a whole bunch of other stuff.
I'm too big of a baby for acupuncture. That's not going to happen. I think we all know I have a affection for needles, and acupuncture is a needle of sorts, so not going to happen. Well, by the way, when I've been watching this tech out of California. I don't know. You guys may have heard of him. Live Windows training with Doug Betts. I recommend it. Anyway, I did a Control L, didn't work. And then I did a Microsoft button L, and it locked the screen. That's what it's supposed to do, right?
Well, it's supposed to be the Windows button, not Control. So
right, yeah. Well, I got there. I'm a little slow, but it did work. It locked it up. And Windows Spotlight worked, and there was text in the left, text on the right, and I want to say text in the middle. So apparently it only works when you put the Windows button and L. But disregard anything you were going to cover on that next time for my last comment. It's fixed.
No, actually it's not. Because I think Alice's comment is still valid. When you restart the computer and it comes up to what you might think is the lock screen, it's not really the lock screen, and it does not have those. And I told her to move the mouse around, see if it appears, and I tested on my computer. It does not appear. And I think the reason is that's not actually the lock screen. There's a different designation for that, and I've seen that before in the registry. It's not the lock screen because you haven't logged into the account yet.
Right.
And I log in with a Microsoft account. So that controls the configuration of my lock screen. Each user account that a computer might have could have a different lock screen configuration. That screen that comes up before you log in then is not the lock screen. It has some other kind of name, the background.
I always call it the startup screen. Hit the space bar and start it up. But I mean, that's just me. I keep things very simple.
Is that the verbose message screen?
No, I don't think that's what they call it. It's a very
welcome screen.
Yeah, could be that.
That doesn't sound familiar either, because I remember I think it was maybe back in Windows 7 or Windows 95 when I was encountering that as a settings, because if you changed your background, there's background, wallpaper, and lock screen, I think are 3 different names. And I think it's the background in the registry that controls that screen. But since you're not logged into Microsoft account yet, and that Windows Spotlight is coming from Microsoft, but you don't have to be logged in with a Microsoft account to use it. So I don't know. I'm not done checking that out, but
I disable all that. Hey, but 95 and 98, you changed the wallpaper, it changed that screen. The NT version, I believe you had to do the registry.
I know there was a thing where you could have a picture on your displaying on your screen, and you could right click the picture and set that as wallpaper. There was a point in time with that when that would not change the background screen. And I'm calling the background screen when you start up the computer before you log in. And I saw instances where the wallpaper and the background screen were configured differently. So I don't know. I think that's still an open subject, and I saw other people asking about that and not finding the correct answer.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen briefly, and it's going out over YouTube. So right now, you're seeing my icons, and I'll turn those off. And this is what you would consider the background screen, right? Where you can right-click it and change it.
I think that's called wallpaper.
Okay. Okay, wallpaper. So when I start the computer, this is not what comes up first. What comes up first is a clock and the date down here in the lower left, and then it's an oceanic or however you want to say it. It's an ocean scene. It's a beach and some cliffs and whatnot. And then when I hit the space bar, I have to put in my password, and then this pops up. So, am I following along? That's kind of what you were saying?
Well,
it's okay if I'm not. I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I won't put you in the waiting room.
Yeah. I don't think we got the resources to resolve what's actually going on here yet, because I spent some time on it today, and other people have been Googling it and asking questions in various places, and I haven't seen a good solution. With respect, now that screen that you're seeing, Ken, before you actually log in, is it the same image that you see when you do Windows key L?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes.
Now, if you were to switch to a different lock screen image and then restart the computer, I'm not totally convinced that first screen before you log in will change in response to you manually changing the lock screen. But I'm up here to get away from stop about
it. Wintermute said in chat, welcome screen. That was about 4 minutes ago. I'm a little behind on chat right now.
It might be welcome screen.
Who knows? If you can, I would like you to stick around for when the stream ends. I want to pass some information along that I gained the knowledge from your show today.
All right.
If you don't mind. And the show should end here in 4 or 5 minutes. The macro's not working correctly.
Before your show ends, I want to point something out. When your macro kicks in for your outro,
I did not know that. And Wintermute said something last night about there's some kind of music before. I'm looking at the mixer right now, and the only thing I see is my voice, and there's Dancing Girls music in the background of that. So that music should be there. But there is no, if you were to talk on Zoom right now, they are not going to hear you because I don't have it set up for them to hear you on this. Right. But I could put, I don't mean to interrupt you, I could put the audio only on that without Zoom. Right. Oh, okay. All right. Right, because they're right. Yeah, see, I knew it was about to kick in, and sure enough, it did, and now it's already kicked back to Windows 12 factor fiction that no one paid attention to and said anything about tonight. So I have to stop it manually because I haven't figured out how to stop it. Well, you know what? Let's try it. No, Stream Deck's not running. So good night, everybody. Thank you very much. In case you didn't catch it, there will be no Windows training, live Windows training with Doug Betts tomorrow. He's taking a holiday. There will be no me tomorrow because I get up at 6 to go pick up Mrs. K. See you tomorrow night at 9. Just the generic bye. Bye.